And we talked about Meg Brown leading the team in kills. Had 5 swings, 3 errors, did not have a kill in that first set. That's part of the reason that number is so low of 12, which, by the way, is the 3rd fewest points allowed in a set this season by BYU. BYU spread the ball around effectively. Kenzie, what did you see as to why BYU was able to do that?
Yeah, Jeremy, I think the biggest thing was passing in system. It allowed Whitney Bauer to spread out the offense and get her hitters to feeling confident. They were taking high, assertive swings, and it was working out in their favor. Pepperdine did not know where the ball was going to go. That's the BYU team we're used to seeing.
Meg Brown read the dump right there, and then nobody passed it.
Well, and an interesting play to start off that second set, because both teams really should forget the first set. BYU, yeah, they want to feel confident, but they should know that it's not going to be that easy.
Yeah.
Pepperdine is not going to roll over. And for Pepperdine, they just want to get back to playing the game they've played all season long.
And there's the first kill from Meg Brown, which is a good sign if you're a Pepperdine fan. Hey, there's only one set of footprints when they looked backwards in the first set, and it was Heather Nidings. She carried the Cougars.
She did, and you could see on that play when the
Larenis with the bullet down the line, 1-1. The grad from Bountiful, Utah, who waited her time to not only be in the starting lineup, but she's 373. Incredible story. Ahrens. And there is Emily Helmuth with her 3rd. Helmuth did not have a match where she kind of went off prior to the Minnesota game. Then the Minnesota game, she goes nuts. She's got 49 kills the last 3 matches.
Well, I think that's what's fun when you watch a freshman develop over the course of a preseason, is every time they step on the court, they've learned something new, they've gotten better, and so it's really fun to watch that progression, and Helmuth has just gotten better and better every match.
Didn't hit over 300 once before the Minnesota game, then hit 516. I mean, just went off against former BYU men's volleyball player Hugh McCutcheon's Gophers. Ahrens off the block and out, so a little more consistency to that offense as Pepperdine starts 3 for 3.
And attacking that same spot, you can see that attacking about 3 feet from the setter, which brings the outside hitter inside the court, but also the middle farther from the setter. That has provided a gap in the defense.
Oh, Grimmer crushes it down the line. And it's good to see Kay Grimmer get a kill on offense, because there have been times BYU's not using her in the same way they did 2 years ago, but line was wide open and she was quick with it.
She was, and it's harder for a lefty, obviously, to wait on that then go line. So it was a really nice shot.
Season high is 7 kills for Grimmer as Polk crushes that. It's a different Pepperdine team, which we expected in set 2.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Look totally different.
Different match. Vanessa Polk, a freshman as well, and you can see she's just a fighter who hits a really heavy, heavy ball.
Had 10 blocks against Tulsa, 3 solo. 4-4 the score for Isabel Zelaya. Grimmer, Zelaya, and then look at Eden Bauer avoiding netting right there with the quick hand. Our score box is presented by Commercial Cleaning Supplies and Equipment. Caroline Bauer was coaching her club team, was here Thursday night, went down to Arizona. She was trying to get back for this match. I don't have a report as to what, she's here?
She is.
Oh my gosh, she made it back this morning to be here for the match. Man, she's all over the place. That's incredible. Kind of like her daughter as the setter, just finding every tip. Except for that one, she's on the block, so yeah, that's not hers. 5-5 now. As Pepperdine, all 5 points are kills. Just perfection.
So different from the first set, where offensively they couldn't find any way to get the court. And what they've also done is they're not making a lot of errors. Both these teams playing so consistently, they're going to force their opponents to earn every single point.
And there's an ace. The first non-kill point goes to Rachel Ahrens, who's what in Pepperdine history? #1 in career aces. She has the top, I think, 3 seasons, had 51 in a year, 49 in another. She is an absolute weapon, 6'4".
And talking to Coach Wong, he said what's great about Ahrens as well is she keeps everything light. She's make sure everyone is really enjoying themselves and playing hard. And although she's that team leader who exhibits an incredible amount of work ethic, she also keeps a perspective, and it helps the team do that as well.
She's had 6 aces in a match twice. Keep an eye on that. 6-6 set 2. BYU up a set, 25-12 that first set. But as we mentioned, volleyball, you absolutely restart it. There's not a lot of momentum carryover from one set to the other. A little bit if you're losing by a ton and you kind of fight back a little bit. But BYU dominated the first. It has no bearing on what happens at the start. Heather Neidig's first set was incredible. That particular shot was not.
Yeah, I think volleyball's so fun because it's like a roller coaster. You
like roller coasters, then?
Not upside down, but
not upside down.
Up
okay.
and down. Yes, I do like that.
I do get the analogy. Yes.
That's what this is, because you don't know what you're going to get.
You do know that Erin Livingston's going to rise up and just smack a ball, and she does on 8 swings. Using that physicality, one-on-one,
Grace Chillingworth diving into that angle, trying to take it away, but when you've got the whole court, going to kill that ball.
She has 10 or more kills in the last 10. Really carrying the Cougars in that department. Through the block, and BYU into the net, point Pepperdine. 9-7 now. 2-point advantage for the Waves out of Malibu, ranked 17th in the country, 9-3. 2 of the 3 losses are to top 5 teams in number 1 Nebraska, number 4 San Diego. They beat number 9 Baylor, 13 Washington, number 6 Minnesota last week. Off the net a bit for Livingston, easy dig for Ahrens. Helmuth into the campfire. 10-7. Things coming easy on that one for the Waves.
And Pepperdine, a team that has been on the road so long this preseason. They felt like they haven't been in Malibu. Looking forward to getting home, playing on their home court, sleeping in their own beds.
Livingston, Ahrens with the dig. Patterson high for Helmuth. Out. 10-8. Pepperdine went on the road the first weekend, home the second weekend. They've been gone the last 2 weekends. And then this weekend is particularly tough, as you mentioned, at number 4 San Diego, at number 16 BYU. 10-8. Zelaya Brown, what a shot. Nobody home, loaded up in the middle and tipped
really
it.
Great court awareness from Brown. She's pulled into the middle of the court. The block has jumped. That opens up. Coach Wong said that it's great to have a middle that all the defense has to focus on. They've got to focus on Meg Brown, and as a result, the others have a great chance.
Rachel Ahrens with the stuff. And look at the Waves up 12-8. Timeout BYU. Third block of the match. With the solo. Never tell her the odds. Waves up 4 in set number 2. BYU won the first set. Pepperdine has responded in the second. 9-10 before 6. Isn't that weird?
That's interesting. And it speaks to maybe the crowd, the influence of that crowd. And although for a 1 o'clock match, this crowd is really impressive.
This is awesome. And we have seen some Wyoming fans in the house. Now, there is a connection in this match to a BYU-Wyoming game. It's Abby Taylor, who played at Wyoming, BYU's backup center, last 2 seasons, and is now at BYU. So there you go. And by the way, 2 members of the Black 14 are going to be honored in this game. The entire Black 14 honored, of course, but 2 in the house for what they have done in trying to, there you see some Wyoming fans, to try and heal and help through providing food to the hungry. And they've done great work. They're going to be featured tonight. There was a documentary put out, by the way, from BYU students with the Daily Universe school newspaper. Did a great job. Debuted last night as there's another kill from Pepperdine. So tune in tonight to see some healing from events from the 60s that happened with Wyoming in preparation for a game with BYU, famously. If you don't know, you can look it up, Black 14, and read what the Daily Universe did. They did a tremendous job. 13-10. Pepperdine up in set 2. BYU up a set. High from Hames. Ahrens. Knudsen on the dig. Bauer, real low for Grimmer. Polk. That's twice she's kind of tipped at the net to try and make a play real quick. and neither time has worked so far. I imagine that's why she's doing it.
And great hang time as we look at this rally going again Pepperdine's way. And what Pepperdine has really done in this to do coming into the match is worked on their first ball side out, which is right off the pass. They were perfect despite one last swing on the outside, an errant swing from Ahrens, but they have been fantastic. They're 9 for 10 first ball side out. That gives them that confidence.
15-10 Pepperdine. Eden Bauer in that corner. The ace just went down, so she gets subbed out, perhaps part of that reason. Oh, and right at Callahan, who has to make a play right away and serve receive as that ball goes over the top with touch. 16-10. Waves dominating here as BYU makes a change at outside hitter.
What a difference a game makes. We told you it would be different, but the pendulum swinging so huge on both sides is really interesting for these teams.
Aces aplenty now for Pepperdine, who are dominating themselves, up 7. Timeout. Second and final for BYU as the Waves crash on the Cougars in set 2. One of the leaders on this team, they need her to be good to compete and perhaps win this match, and she's stormed back now in the second set.
Definitely in this set, Pepperdine hitting well over 600, and that is just they are on the attack. BYU needs to slow them down with a solid pass. BYU was siding out at 91% in the first set. They're only at barely 52% in this second set. So that means that serve from Pepperdine has been so good.
Wendy Lernis, 17-11. Now with that said, BYU did win the first set, and every match this year has been tied to BYU's set 1 performance. They've won the match after set 1 essentially. 8-0 when winning the first, 0-3 when losing the first. So BYU won the first. If you're a Cougar, you like that number. If you're the Waves, you're like, well, they'll tie it up right here. Up 6, 17-11. Polk stuffed in the middle by who? Sophia Callahan, the sub off the bench, the sophomore from Encinitas, California.
Callahan came in last season as a freshman and really showed so much poise. It's really tough to come off it. She really has a complete game all the way around, is really smart as well.
Aaron smacks it inside of the 10-foot line. 18-12 Waves.
Terrific range from Aaron. Look at this angle. Fantastic. See how she dropped to go wrist away. That's a really tough shot.
4 kills in the set now for Ahrens. Zelaya. Oh, kept alive by Bauer. And then Grimmer. Free ball from Ahrens. How did Bauer keep that alive? Tipped by Callahan. Pepperdine into the net. So Whitney Bauer's effort saves a point there. You country for moments like that.
That is a really tough ball to get. Right place at the right time. And then Pepperdine just catching down. A couple of forced errors, and both sides really a lot of net calls. Just maybe pressing too much. That's usually just a mentality thing. Stay out of the net.
Take it AC. Let's go. That's Montoya. Oh, that ball dips. She's got a good serve. That's why she comes in to do that. Aaron's got the touch. She's up to 5 kills in the set. She's on fire. 19-13 Waves. Aaron's not hitting a great number coming into this contest, 158. But it's certainly a player that's an absolute weapon and has been there for 5 years. Super consistent. Waves comfortably up 6. Callahan goes out 20-13. 5 points away from this thing being tied up. Probably saying, hey, set me again. That wasn't great.
Well, and the pressure coming off the bench, it's basically a tryout, right? In this opportunity, you want to earn a spot. And so Callahan does some great things. She's definitely going to want to come back, swing at that ball hard, show that she deserves to be in there.
BYU playing its 4th ranked opponent. Pepperdine its 6th. The Waves have gone 3-2. BYU 0-3. Granted, all 3 of those were in the top 10. Pitt, Georgia Tech, Ohio State, all still in the top 15 at this moment. Helmuth flying in from the left side, waves up a touchdown. Let's check in with Kenzie for more on what happened in the BYU timeout.
Jerem, I don't know about you, but my heart's racing a little bit during this because it just seems like BYU is tense right now. They just need to settle down. Heather told her team in that timeout, figure out a way to be better for your team. They're playing a little timid. They need to go back to taking assertive swings, reading the serve, moving their feet to the ball, and getting their setter back in system and getting good touches.
Kenzie, the player part of you that is still connected to this team, that's the heart. Right.
Yes.
The player that feels it like a player. Absolutely. Yeah, and these fans, they look quiet right now, right? You're not giving them a ton to cheer about, down 6. But Pepperdine certainly in control here. Larinus with the block. Ahrens. Grimmer with the dig. Off the net for Livingston. Got the touch. Oh, Ahrens keeps it alive. And then that chuck to the sky by Zelaya. BYU in transition. Livingston. Ahrens has been all over it on that back row. Tip from Helmuth. Grimmer right there. She's been there a lot. It's Ahrens. It's Grimmer. On the digs. Chillingworth. Grimmer. Blocked again. Ahrens again. She's cleaning up on aisle 6. And then the stuff in the middle by Meg Brown. What a rally. And Pepperdine with the exclamation.
The longest rally. Everyone involved, everyone on the floor, everyone working hard, and Pepperdine wins it and gets the one.
Waves by 7. Joust. One by Brown. Oh, Patterson keeps it alive. What a stab. Slide to Larinus. Finally, some space between Ahrens and Patterson. But Pepperdine just digging everything. You don't show up to the beach without the shovel. Pepperdine knows what they're doing here. As Bauer hears where she's going to serve this. Patterson, tough pass. Zelaya gives Chillingworth a hittable ball. BYU now. Grimmer through the block, and Pepperdine into the net again. So it would have been point either way. 22-17. Timeout Pepperdine. So BYU is putting enough pressure on to induce timeout here. As BYU in this set heading 200, Pepperdine 370. Remember, they hit in BYU trying to defend its home court where it is 60-2 as a member of the West Coast Conference in home matches. Those 2 losses are to San Diego. So you take out San Diego, BYU is 55-0 against the other 8. Unbelievable. Really? Pepperdine trying to pull off something that's not been done here, which is be not named San Diego and win in WCC play as that one goes out from Livingston. 23-17. Cougars were trying to chip away and make a run here. That one's tough in the comeback pursuit. We'll just see Kaylee Hames, the senior from Maryville, Tennessee, come in. Mom played at Oregon State, Christine, Australian national team as well. She aspires to do the same for Australia. Larinus through the block.
Series that starts with the perfect pass. You're able to be in system. You see how fast Bauer was able to set that ball, opening up a big all the way out and close.
Heather Knighting, by the way, no kills in this set after 6 in set 1.
That's huge.
Pancaked by Bauer. Meg Brown, here comes the boom. Set point Pepperdine. After no kills in the...
Really quick back set. It's a tighter slide right on top of the head of the defender. Kept Sophia Callahan from getting there, and then Larinus had already almost released, and so she was nowhere around either. Really great job by Zelaya to change the whole match this second set. She's making great decisions, setting very precise, great location.
Zelaya, senior from Texas. Callahan. Larinus hits it out, and that'll do it. 25-18. We are tied at 1 set apiece. Listen, They don't pay us the big bucks for nothing. We told you set 2 could be very different, and it was. Pepperdine responded, hitting 367. Some hard high fives being given by Meg Brown, pumped up right now as the Cougars give up that second set. Pepperdine as the Waves and Cougars in a top 25 matchup for just the second time in the history of these two meeting. We are tied at 1 set apiece. We'll be back with